What the Friday, hey, what the Friday, what the Friday, ooh, what the Friday, it's Friday, Friday. What the Friday, hey, what the Friday, what the Friday, ooh, what the Friday, it's Friday, Friday, Friday. Greetings, Royal Family, it's Friday. You made it through another week, and you're here with me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, as you know, this is the What the Friday show. Every Friday, I pretty much bring you a recap of all the pop culture highs and lows, shenanigans, and foolishness. So, hopefully, you read the title, you read the description, and we can just get right into it. So, here we go. The hottest topic for the past maybe month, Wendy Williams' husband, Kevin Hunter, and Wendy Williams as well. Lord, Lord, Lord. I don't know if you guys are heavy in these YouTube streets, but there is a YouTuber by the name of Tasha K. And she did a 2-part sit-down interview with Avion. I don't remember his last name. But Avion is a musician. He's a singer and a songwriter who sat down with Tasha K and his wife to basically expose Kevin Hunter. Oh my! Let me tell you something. I think it aired last week Saturday. I wasn't ready. There should have been a disclaimer. I couldn't even get through part 2. He was getting very graphic. He was talking about the fact that Kevin Hunter, penetrated him without his unwilling, whatever, rape, that's what it is, rape. Jesus Christ, this is crazy. He was so detailed, he was so graphic. He said he had just moved his bowels, laid in the bed. Kevin Hunter came in, proceeded to have an anal feast, if you will. Anal feast, and then penetrated him. I don't think we needed to know that, Mr. Avion, sir. But whatever. He did have a contractual relationship with him among other things, right? As far as he was trying to break into the music industry. He was in the Wendy show, in the audience of the Wendy show a couple of years back. And he can sing. I mean, he gives me a real Brian McKnight tease. I mean, if you haven't seen this, and if you have time, just go on YouTube and search it. Avion something or other. Just Tasha K's interview. It's a 2-part interview. He did state that he was born a hermaphrodite. So he's basically on the campaign to expose, Kevin Hunter. But I could have did without the extra stuff. Like, we don't want to know what he did in your, you know what I'm saying, in your back door. Your back door is your business. We don't want to know all of that. Like, woo, child. And then Wendy, this has just been like flooding the internet. Wendy on Monday, I came in and I did a video, kind of like a Wendy watch, an update. Wendy was basically throwing little jabs, pertaining to her life. She didn't name any names, but Wendy looks good. Wendy is having the time of her life, as she should. I think Wednesday, she mentioned that she was home reading a book, and she received a call from DJ Booth, who is her DJ on the Wendy Williams show, asking her out to dinner. She had ordered in at that point, and she told him, we can reschedule. She hung up with him. Her phone rang again. It was Bevy Smith, who is a fashionista, a real socialite, a real classy old Hollywood glam socialite. Bevy Smith contacted her to show her support and invite her to this gala on behalf of herself and Andre Leontelli. If you don't know who Andre Leontelli is, he's the former editor-in-chief of Vogue magazine. You must be living under a rock if you don't know who Father Andre is. Oh Lord, that's the Smirnoff talking. Anywho, so Wendy, accepted the invitation. After she hung up, she got another call from none other than Charlemagne the God. Now, if you have been following Wendy from back in the late 90s, early 2000s, then you know that Charlemagne was actually Wendy's co-host on her radio show, broadcasted in the tri-state area. Whoop whoop, shout out to Jersey. And they were friends for a long time. They really had their personalities really meshed well on radio, but they haven't talked in years due to the fact that Kevin had an issue with Charlemagne. It's just a long laundry list of a cluster foolishness. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So anyway, Wendy was really glowing. She was really happy. You could tell that she's really having the time of her life. And I think that she has her business solidified. She has her ducks in a row. When she took her little 2-month hiatus, she probably got her health in order, realigned her focus, and probably hired a killer legal team to get her affairs in order. Because listen, when you've had enough, you've had enough. I understand they were married for however many years. They've been together for however many years. They had a business relationship. They have a son together. But when you sick and tired, you sick and tired. R. Kelly said, when a woman's fed up, there's nothing that you can do about it. If you don't know already, Kevin Hunter had a mistress who is considered his common law wife because he's been with her for 10 years? Honey, this is too much. And they have a baby. The baby is about a month old or so. Tasha K actually revealed today that the baby's name is Journey Hunter. I don't even know how she got that information. I feel sorry for the kid. A lot's been going on as far as Wendy Williams is concerned. Her husband, her Kevin Hunter, soon to be ex-husband, did issue a statement stating that he loves and respects Wendy, and he's been with her throughout her entire career, and he has built a brand with her. He loves and respects her, and he's also asking for $10 million. Now, some people are saying that's too little. Some people saying he has some nerve asking for anything at all, considering that he's been traipsing his mistress around. He has a baby with his mistress, and just adorning her with the diamond rings and cars and so on and so forth, and he has the nerve to ask for $10 million. I mean, if that's a low ball, then damn, how much is Wendy really worth? I guess I haven't been doing enough of my homework. But even if that's true, because it's in the media, we don't know if it's true. Even if that's true, if Wendy decides to write him a check, just write the check, girl, and let him move on and be about his business. I don't know. She might not have a problem with that because, like I said in my previous video, she has earning potential. She can recoup that money back. Her show is renewed until 2020, I think, or 2022, if I'm not mistaken. That sounds weird. 2022? Whatever. Anyway, time is just moving so fast. So she's renewed for her show for 2022. Trust me, you heard it here first. She's going to come out with a book. A book is on the way. So I'm glad to see that Wendy is, getting back to her normal. She said that she was home reading and her cell phone rang. If you've been following Wendy from back in the day, word on the street is that she couldn't even have a personal cell phone because her husband wanted her to have no contact with anyone outside of him and her son. Control. So when she said her cell phone rang, I said, oh, we have a cell phone? So she's moments away from leaving the sober house. So I'm assuming that she's going back into her, her humble abode, setting up shop and living comfortably. I want to see Wendy, dating. As I said before, I want to see her dating. I want to see her out and about. So this is good. As far as Kevin is concerned, I'm sure he's not happy about the fact that Wendy has filed for divorce. But at what point do you think that this behavior is going to continue to be accepted? Like, let's keep it real. All fun and jokes aside, you have been traipsing your mistress around for a decade, regardless if Wendy knew or not. It's still embarrassing, and it has a propensity to tarnish the brand. You know what I mean? You're sloppy out here. You're out here allegedly having relations with men, and people are exposing you, your shady business practices. So listen, even if Wendy was down with the get down and didn't care that he had a mistress and she had her little side thing, you messy. You messy. You not on your game. You know what I mean? Like, even if it was the marriage was for a business partnership, you are off your game, homie. Like, you out here being moving sloppy. Like, tighten up. Well, Wendy has had enough. She filed for divorce. He gave a statement. The baby is here. Lord help that baby. Lord help that baby. I don't know. But that interview with Tasha K, where that young man came on and talked about his sexcapades with Kevin Hunter, his alleged sexcapades with Kevin Hunter, while his wife accompanied him and sat next to him, that was too much. I mean, the graphic details, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not trying to victim shame, but not once did you say that you tried to fight him off or that you refused. You know, you probably thought that this is what you had to do to get into the music industry. And honey, if that's the case, I'll continue singing in my shower like I normally do. No thanks. It's too messy. It's too messy. And there's a kid involved, you know? So, you know, Wendy is seems like she's living her best life. I'm pretty sure she has a strong legal team. I'm hoping that she has a strong legal team, and that's why she's probably not worried about any of the filings as far as the divorce is concerned. So, I mean, I'll be keeping up to date with Auntie Wendy, honey, but Auntie Wendy is living her best life. So, Charlemagne actually, I did see today that Charlemagne actually talked about him reaching out to her, which I think is long overdue. You know, he never had a bad thing to say about Wendy. He never held it against her that she stopped talking to him. Rightfully so. You know, she's going to ride with her husband. And like he said on his, Charlemagne said on his podcast, you know, he didn't hold anything against Wendy because he doesn't know what Kevin said to her, you know, or told her as to why they're no longer friends. So, who knows? I mean, I'm glad he reached out to her. He could be reaching out to her to do a little damage control. If you watch Tasha K, she's a YouTuber, Tasha, the letter K, two separate, you know, separate. Tasha K, it's too much. It's too much for me to go into. I don't have that much memory on my camera, and I don't have that much time. But it's just too much to get into. But I am glad to know that Charlemagne reached out to her. I think that's the honorable thing to do. He did say that they mended fences. So I don't know, Charlemagne. Word on the street is you might be in a little bit of trouble. You might be in a little bit of Kevin Hunter, aka trouble yourself. So hopefully, you know, when she go, if they actually do go out, if they do have dinner, you know, they'll hash out whatever they need to hash out or discuss. Because I think that Charlemagne genuinely loves Wendy. I think Wendy cares about Charlemagne as well. But, you know, she's going to pick her husband. You know, it makes sense. So instead of Charlemagne, who was a friend and a co-host to her. So, I mean, I'll continue to be on Wendy Watch. I'm sure there's going to be more that's exposed. But in the meantime, Wendy, you look great. You look like you're having a good time. You're going to a ball where Andre Leontelli will be, Bevy Smith will be. You're going out on a double date with DJ Booth and Charlemagne. Hopefully that meeting will happen. And I'm glad that she was actually open to it, right? Like, Wendy, like I said, I said before, you have more people rooting for you than rooting against you. So I'm here for it. So I'll be reporting. I'm on Wendy Watch, and I'm serious about this. So I'll be reporting. Okay? It's Friday, y'all. It's Friday. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you think about Wendy Williams. Tell me what allegations you've heard about Kevin. Tell me what you think. Do you think Kevin is entitled to $10 million or at least 50% of her net worth? I mean, he did help to build her business. He was her manager. Tell me what you think. Like, let's keep this conversation going. So, woo, Wendy, girl. Wendy, you about to live your life like it's golden. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Let's see what's next on the list. I have my notes here, you know, just bringing you, you know, the latest pop culture news. Kim Kardashian going to law. Who the hell put this on here? Kim Kardashian going to law school. What? I don't really care. Is that her attempt at giving black people reparations? Like, you, girl. Anyway, this is not a political channel. Let's stay off that. Moving along. Who put this on here? Moving along. Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter. She actually came out with, as you know, she performed at Coachella. That's an event all in itself. She debuted her album of her live songs that have already been released on her previous albums, but the live versions. And she did release, what is the name of that song? Oh my God, Before I Let Go. Ooh, I heard that today and I like that. And she has a little bit of a Just Like Candy sample in there. That's going to be played at every cookout, every wedding over the summer, every trap party, every kickback, every, just chill. That's a good summer vibe. If you haven't heard it, you should check it out on YouTube. It's called, what did I just say it was called? Oh my God. Before I Let Go. So Beyonce, she kind of redid Before I Let Go. So she gives you vocals in the beginning and she gives you a little bit of, trap, rap in the end. The album cover is beautiful. She has on like this Queen Latifah-esque hat. She looks gorgeous. She also debuted her Netflix documentary, Smart Girl. First of all, I seen that documentary. Some people may not agree, but it is safe to say that Beyonce, we can call her Beyonce Jackson at this point. Now, don't get me wrong, nobody will ever replace the king. Michael Jackson is the king. MJ is King MJ for life. But let's not take away from the fact that this woman, Beyonce, is serious about her craft. I'm sure other people are, but we're talking about Beyonce. She is serious about her craft. This woman puts her heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears into entertaining the masses. Beyonce, she did not come to play with you hoes. She did not. Beyonce said that she rehearses her dance moves for 8 months. 8 months. I don't even know what have I committed to for 8 months. I don't, I keep canceling and renewing my Netflix membership under different emails to try to get a free trial. I'm trying to think. I don't know what I've been, my lease. Well, yeah, my lease, I pay rent, but that's different. That's where I have to live. But aside from what, I don't know if I've been committed for 8 solid months. God knows how many hours a day committed to. That's just the choreography. The music is another 2-3 months. Like, this woman is not playing. And let me tell you something. Some of you may not know, some of you may be younger, but for my more seasoned guys and gals, you remember when Beyonce came out, she was in Destiny's Child, and we heard so many rumors about her father, Matthew Knowles. Shout out to Matthew Knowles. Matthew Knowles has instilled a work ethic in Beyonce that is just to be admired. You know what I mean? It's to be admired. And I feel like as a consumer, if I'm going to be spending my money for your content, then of course, some consumers have higher expectations. People want Beyonce to like teleport to their house and teleport back and do flips and cartwheels through the stage. It's a little unrealistic, but we want what we want. But the mere fact is that she put so much effort into perfecting her craft. There's something to be said about that, because in music, you don't see that now. Like, what do you see now? I mean, oh Lord, I don't even want to call anybody out, but you see a lot of people just throwing stuff out there. They just throw shit out there, and it's not, you don't take time to cultivate the craft. And, she's a true artist, and it's not because, I'm a bee fanatic and beehive. It's beyond that. This woman takes her craft very seriously, and any artist that takes their craft seriously, to dedicate that much time into their craft, for Christ's sake, she has pregnant with twins, and one of her baby's heart stopped. Like, this woman, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give credit where credit is due. So it's safe to say that Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter can now, Beyonce, I knight you or I lady you. You're Beyonce Jackson. Who else is matching as far as performance is concerned? We're not taking away from MJ, but as far as performance is concerned, who is matching Michael? Who's the closest thing to Michael Jackson, or who's matching him? Give Beyonce her credit. If you don't agree, that's fine. You know, I'm not one of the bandwagoner people. I've never been a bandwagon type person. You know, I'm able to think for myself. But come on, man. That girl, I don't care if she's giving us the same dance moves. I don't care if she's giving us the same songs. It takes dedication. It takes sacrifice. She's a mother. You know what I mean? I don't even know how old Blue Ivy is. What, 4 or 5 or what have you? She was pregnant with twins. After that, like, she literally, like, the placenta, like, she gave birth to one, pop, gave birth to the other, pop, placenta drop. She was in rehearsal. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something. Sometimes when I have a headache, I don't even want to answer the phone, let alone get up out of bed. If I have period cramps, TMI, I'm just saying, if I have cramps, I'm like, this girl went from the labor and delivery hospital bed to rehearsal, honey, to the stage. What's my excuse? Let me tell you something. That Beyonce, I'm referring to her as Beyonce Jackson. Why do I have a comb? Don't worry about it. You know, just in case I needed, you know, I'm my own makeup and wardrobe. But that Beyonce Knowles Carter, I'm referring to her as Beyonce Jackson going forward. You get mad if you want to. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. And I'm pretty sure if MJ was here himself, he would agree with me. Beyonce Jackson. I don't know who Beyonce Knowles Carter is. Who? Beyonce Jackson? Beyonce Jackson if you're nasty. That girl, let me tell you, and she's been in this game for a long time, and she's come from a long way. Like, never mind, forget the performance was snatching my lace front. You know, I couldn't find it for a day. I couldn't find it for a couple of hours. You know, my wig cap walked out the door. Never mind her performance. She's got that in the bag. Okay, my wig cap walked out the door. Had to get another one after seeing her performance. But that documentary really showcased the sacrifice. Yes, it is her choice, and no one asked her to do it. You know, it is her choice. I get all of that. But the mere fact that she would go so hard, not only for the people, but because she believes in herself, she believes in her craft. You know, Beyonce said, listen, like, I don't know if you saw the documentary. I understand what you're doing, but we gotta get this music. We gotta get this to transfer, you know, onto screen, you know. And whoever did the editing for her performances, I think did a great job. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in you give credit where credit is due. I know I'm rambling, it's not even that, like, I don't get into arguments with people about Beyonce. You know, I know the Beehive is serious. You know, they're worse than, like, the Mafia and probably the cartel and the FBI. But it's not even that. Like, I just give credit where credit is due. And it's like, I grew up watching, like, people like Diana Ross perform, Tina Turner perform, and Michael Jackson perform. And it's so crazy because that Beyonce, girl, let me tell you something, Beyonce. You make me, I don't even know, you make me want to just go harder. Like, listen, at the end of the day, what I took away from her documentary is shut the hell up and just get it done. Just get it done. Whatever it is that you need to do it. There's no excuses. The only person stopping you is you. Like, I don't got time. Placenta just dropped. Placenta dropped. She in rehearsal on a 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7. Like, girl. And she said that she would never, you know, do that again as far as pushing her body to that limit. We don't really know how old Beyonce is. That's no shade. But she is getting up there in age. And I'm telling you, it's just like such an artist. I appreciate it. I love seeing behind the scenes things because you know, you just see the finished product and you don't know what the artist has to endure. You don't know what they have to go through to provide you with content that, of course, is going to be criticized, may not be appreciated, but she really put her soul, blood, sweat, and tears into her performance and into getting herself back in shape to give the people what they want. And I mean, rightfully so. We love you, B. Like, seriously, like, shout out to B, yo. I mean, I would take my hat off, but I don't want to scare y'all like that. But hats off to you, Beyonce. I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm an 80s baby, 83, so I feel like I'm qualified to actually, speak about this because I've lived through an era of good music, great performances. I don't know what's happening now. This is like a Twilight Zone. But yeah, it's safe to say Beyonce Jackson. Mm-hmm. Beyonce Jackson. I don't know. You may not agree, but that's fine. I mean, you don't have to agree. But that girl paid her dues. She's paid her dues. She's paid her dues, and the documentary was great. Blue Ivy is the next generation of greatness. I'm here for it. I can only imagine what the twins are gonna come with. Yeah, it's about to be lit over there at the Carter household. It's about to be lit. So kudos to you, Beyonce. Thank you for your sacrifice for all that you do. I appreciate it. I'm here for it. I'm a rewarder of hard work, and I give credit where credit is due, like I said. So if you want your wig snatched, if you want your wig cap to walk out the front door, yeah, check out her Netflix documentary, and also check out her performance at Coachella. Why is Coachella so? You know what? I just thought about it. Isn't it in California? I was gonna say, why do I have to stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to watch sis perform? But then again, it's in California. I'm on the East Coast, so there's a time. I'm assuming I could be totally wrong, but whatever. It is what it is. It was definitely worth it. So speaking of Beyonce Jackson, Michael Jackson's estate is actually suing the producers, the producers of the documentary Leaving Neverland. So you guys already know there was a documentary. There's a guy by the name of Dummy Number One and another guy by the name of Dummy Number Two, who basically were given their alleged testimony as to Michael Jackson being inappropriately touching them and molesting them, yada yada. So Dummy Number One and Dummy Number Two actually testified in the 90s, stating that when there were other allegations of child molestation against Michael Jackson, Dummy Number One and Dummy Number Two stated that they, Michael Jackson wasn't inappropriate with them. He didn't do anything, yada, yada, yada. Decades later, now they're coming out with they came out actually with HBO premiered Leaving Neverland. I didn't watch it. I chose not to for a specific reason that I'm not going to get into on this What the Friday, because this is a happy occasion. We're going to make light. You had a rough week. We're just going to make light of certain topics and just kind of breeze through. So I'm not getting too heavy as far as that is concerned. But Dummy Number One and Dummy Number Two did state that they lied under oath and that MJ did in fact touch them inappropriately. No, I don't think it's time for my opinion yet. So the director of the documentary, I have it pulled up here. What's his name? The director of the documentary basically wrote a long, drawn-out statement that I'm not even going to read. Dan Reed, basically, he's the one that directed the documentary. He stated that Dummy Number One and Dummy Number Two, he didn't do his research on he didn't really look. He admitted that he didn't really look into the facts pertaining to this story. Of course not. He also stated that the two gentlemen were fuzzy, their memory was a little bit fuzzy as it pertains to the details. Some of the dates were off. He admitted that he didn't do his homework. I don't really want to read any of the excerpts from here. I will put the link in the description so that you can take a look at the article. It's an interesting article. It's pretty long. So, all right, here's the thing. Now I'm ready to talk my opinion. None of us know exactly what happened, right? Everything that I'm saying is speculation. I could be totally wrong, but I'm going to stand firm on my beliefs. The FBI The Federal Bureau of Investigations. I think that's what FBI stands for. If I'm wrong, correct me. The FBI basically investigated MJ for a decade. That's 10 years. I gotcha. It's Friday. For 10 years, they were on his ass, investigating him. Within that 10-year time frame, he didn't even know. There were some years that he didn't even know that he was being followed and watched and investigated. They raided Neverland. I don't know if you're old enough to remember. Hopefully you are. It was breaking news. They raided Neverland. They confiscated computers. They confiscated cameras. They actually had this man in custody, MJ that is. They photographed his genitalia. They photographed his anal cavity. Why? Because the perverse people, listen, I don't care what anybody says. The people that did that were perverse. What are you photographing his genitalia for? You're disgusting. What are you photographing his anal cavity for? You're disgusting. You nasty and you perverted. I digress. They found nothing. If the FBI, now mind you, the FBI probably would want nothing more than to nail MJ to the cross. I'm sure. You mean to tell me that they investigate this man for 10 years, have plenty of statements from staff, from parents, from children, a portion of that 10-year time frame, they're watching him and he doesn't even know. They confiscate all of your computers, cameras, everything, and they find nothing. So I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm not saying that it did happen. But it's interesting that you basically admitted that you lied under oath. FBI found nothing. He settled multiple times out of court. Settling doesn't mean that you're guilty. If you have the means, the financial means to make some shit just go away, then you're just going to make some shit go away, right? So you mean to tell me that you're admitting that you lied under oath? So how the hell are we supposed to believe you now, dummy? This is why I say dummy number one and dummy number two. You set yourself up for failure. Even if you are telling the truth, right? Even if you are telling the truth. You just admitted to perjury. Yo, once a liar, I'm not believing nothing. Listen, I'm not believing nothing you say. You could be telling the truth, but I would have to see it. Because at the end of the day, I don't know what's going on through your mind. This is getting old. And not to mention, the MJ estate, they have substantial evidence. Like I said, I'll put the article in the description for you. They have substantial evidence as far as the timeline's not matching up. They have substantial evidence that this is a crock of foolishness. One of the dummies, and I'm calling them dummies for a reason. Get offended if you want to. That's your choice. One of the dummies was shopping around a book. Nobody would pick that up. Are you crazy? At least if you're gonna accuse somebody of something, make sure your backyard is clean. Make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. You admitting, among everything else, you're admitting, yes, I was in a court of law. I swore in the Bible that I would tell the truth, but I lied when I was on the stand. How the hell is anybody supposed to believe you now? Are you kidding me? MJ is near and dear to my heart. So I'm moving on. Next is one of the ratchet moments. Ladies and gentlemen, T.I. versus Kodak Black. All right. Listen, this is for T.I. Excuse me, royal family, but I have to address T.I. Sir, T.I., let me just explain something to you first and foremost. Let me give you a backstory. After the passing of Nipsey Hussle, Kodak Black took to social media to address Lauren London, to basically say, I'll give you a year or so or a couple of months to mourn. After that, you could cry on my shoulder. You need a good man in your life. Next day, the rapper from Compton, and T.I. from where's T.I. from? Atlanta. T.I. go on social media along with Tank, I think it is, Tank, went onto social media and basically said, Kodak Black, you're out of line. Game basically threatened violence. Ti sort of threatened violence, saying that you need to apologize expeditiously. I hate when people learn a new Sesame Street word and they just use it like they just run it to the ground expeditiously. Child. Anyway, so Ti is like making a big hoopla about this, and Ti has a hip hop museum. You see him online removing Kodak Black's pictures from the hip hop museum, from his hip hop museum. I'm just trying to build it up. If you didn't hear about this, whatever. Now T.I. makes a diss track. I guess, Kodak Black basically let T.I. know, listen, I ain't scared of you. I'm in Atlanta right now. I did see a video, I can't get those chromosomes back after watching that video. But anyway, Kodak Black basically told T.I. like, look, I don't have to answer to you. Like, who are you? Like, you're not my, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to answer to you. I could say whatever I want to say. I think he did halfway apologize to Lauren London. He did. He said, Lauren London, if I offended you, I'm sorry, but I don't think I did. Listen, that's the best that you're going to get out of the Black Lisa Simpson. But nonetheless, then they go back and forth, little catty beef. T.I. makes a diss song. T.I., who's supposed to be the adult in this situation. I had to get close to the mic. I'm extra. T.I. makes a diss song. I listened to like maybe 30 seconds of it. Then Kodak Black makes a diss song. Kodak Black makes a diss song, and he also posted some things on Twitter talking about Tiny. First of all, Kodak, we love Miss Tiny Harris. Tiny is, a woman about her business. She's a great mom. She's been a loyal. I have my own definition of loyalty. It doesn't seem to be the same as the masses, but whatever. That's another topic. She stood by T.I. even though T.I. has been a less than stellar husband. I'm trying to be nice here before I go off. I love Tiny. Her and Candy have been friends and business partners for years. I don't have anything negative to say about Tiny. Of course, obviously, I don't know her personally, but from what I see displayed on their when I used to watch their reality show, how she behaves when Escape decided to reunite, she just seems to be very level-headed, down to earth, and optimistic. I love that. So he said, Kodak Black said what he said about Tiny. And then he recently said Kodak Black recently said something very derogatory that I'm not even going to repeat. Whatever. I'm just trying to get through this. This is like so annoying. He said something derogatory about Deja, which is T.I.'s daughter. All right, now I'm done with all the backstory. You guys probably already know. It's on Twitter, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. Let me tell you something. Don't get me wrong. I did a Dear Kodak Black video that I'll post up here or whatever. You'll see the link. You can check that out. See, my issue is not with Kodak Black. Not majority of my issue. Here's the thing, T.I. Let me explain something to you. I don't know which black delegation meeting you went to and they deemed you as the spokesperson for black people, but you don't speak for me. I just can't stand a pseudo intellect. I can't. You seem to, just because you learn, you got a little thesaurus dictionary pack, for Father's Day or for your birthday or Christmas or whatever, you think that every once in a while you flip through the pages, you pick a word, and because it has more than 2 syllables, you use it, you run it down into the ground, and oh, he's so intelligent. You are not Malcolm X. You are not. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for this pseudo intellectual foolishness. You are not the spokesperson for black people. Kodak Black is a child, T.I. Are you serious? You really made a diss record for a child? You should be ashamed of yourself. Why do you care so much about what it is that he said to Lauren London? I get it. You defending your homeboy. Here I go with this comb again. You defending your homeboy. I get it. But why weren't you defending your wife when you was out gallivanting and cheating and whatnot? You showing more respect to somebody who you have no relations with or no ties to per se than the mother of your children. If you don't get your fake Al Sharpton, wannabe Malcolm X, trying to be T.I. Shabazz behind out of here. Get out of here. Sweep in front of your own front door before you try to sweep in front of anybody else's. You a disgrace. And I'm going to tell you why. You're the elder in this situation. I'm not saying that Kodak Black's actions are excusable, but you are the elder. If you definitely represent for Nipsey Hussle and you representing for black empowerment, instead of worrying about Kodak Black and starting to beef for Kodak Black, why don't you go over to Flint, Michigan, right? And make sure that the second set of fundings that they got over there in Flint, Michigan is actually going to go to rebuild the infrastructure. These people still don't have clean water. T.I. Shabazz or T.I.X, why don't you go over to Flint and worry about that? Like, miss me with that. T.I., you are the last person that should be talking about any disrespect. You are out here gallivanting with some side piece while you were still married to your wife. Your kids are of a certain age. They can go on social media and see that. Listen, I'm not saying that nobody, you have to be perfect and squeaky clean to qualify to correct somebody. But bro, at least don't have your business out here in the street. You wanted to call for a ban for Gucci. You calling out Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is a grown man. Why don't you stop focusing on the people that are not for the movement of change and stop worrying about them. Don't judge them. The people that are following you, whoever you are, okay, get out now, run. The people who are following you and the people who are actually holding your word as Bible, so to speak, why don't you focus on them? You picking a fight with a child, T.I.? A child? Kodak Black is probably the same age as your oldest son. Pathetic. How is this helping and benefiting the culture? How? Tell me. You making a diss track. And what? To a kid? Toward a kid? Are you serious? Got my blood pressure all up. You know why? Because it's counterproductive. Like, you can't be, us black people need to, and us black men need to stand up. Meanwhile, you live in a completely separate house with your side piece while you're still married. Yeah, what a freaking example. T.I., you're canceled. You're canceled. And as the vice president of the black delegation, because Maxine Waters is the president, as the vice president of the black delegation, you cancel T.I. Don't follow behind a fool. And T.I. is a fool. That boy is young enough to be your son. And you're out here making a diss record for a child? Are you serious? At this point, I can't even tell who the real fool. Will the real fool please stand up? I don't know if it's you or if it's Kodak. And scene. And I took it light on you, T.I. I took it real light on you. 90s sitcom hair. Girl. Bro. Moving along. Like, T.I., you such a pseudo intellect. You just, ugh. They done found Kodak Black, if anybody really cared. The Breakfast Club reported this early, I think it was yesterday. Breakfast Club reported yesterday that Kodak Black couldn't be found. He was supposed to have a performance in Boston, if I'm not mistaken. Well, they found him. And he was basically trying to crossing the border from Canada. He was leaving Canada, coming back into the U.S., and he got stopped by Border Patrol. What did they find? This is who you want to make a diss track about, T.I. This is who you want to argue with. They found him driving an Escalade. I don't know how many people he had in the car. He had marijuana in the trunk, and he had a Glock 9 in the car. Mind you, he had gotten a gun charge in August, so he's a felon. So he's in possession of a firearm, him being a felon. And also, the marijuana. What amount? I didn't even read too much into that part. But I think he got locked up in New York, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I've read. I read two different articles, and I did see that he got locked up in New York. Of all the places for your dumb ass to catch a gun charge, Kodak, you catch a gun charge in New York City. I don't know where you guys are from tuning in, but trust me, you don't want to catch a gun charge in New York. I don't know if you remember Plexico, the football player. He accidentally shot himself in a bar. Shot himself in New York, follow me, and he got arrested. And I don't know how much time he did. He shot himself accidentally with his own gun. Himself. Didn't point it at anybody. Didn't say, give me your money, give me the loot like Biggie. He shot himself accidentally in a bar in New York. And they locked his ass up and he did time. Shot himself. So Kodak, you already have priors. You've already been charged with rape. And here you are trying to come back from Canada with your boys in them with a Glock 9 and some weed. And T.I., this is who you choose to argue with and make a diss track with. T.I., you need to go to Flint. You need to go to Flint and see what they talking about. That's how they talking in Atlanta. What you talking about? What they talking about over there? You arguing with a child. Counsel him. And if you're not going to counsel him, leave him be. And you go over, T.I. Shabazz. You go over and see about them people in Flint. See what's going on with them. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with my people. Kodak Black. This guy. And he posted bail. I think he had cash bail was $20,000. He posts bail. I'm sure he has the money. But, bro, you got a gun charge in New York. Like, he's from South Florida, So, I don't know where his previous gun charge transpired. But he gonna learn the hard way. New York don't play that. I'm a Jersey girl. I already know about the tri-state area and how it works, up north. I Lord Jesus. What? I don't even know any of Kodak Black songs. Kodak Black, I'm not knocking, like I said, I'm not knocking his hustle. I don't knock anybody's hustle, but Kodak doesn't do it for me. Like, that's not musically. It's like, who is his demographic? I don't know. Kodak Black seemed like he make music for people who lick their fingers to flip the page on their iPad. I don't know, or their Kindle. I don't know. Kodak is not, I'm not here for it. So, aside from that, we'll see what happens with Kodak. Good luck, because you're going to need it, sir. T.I., go sit down. Sit down in the corner and quit touching shit. That's what you need to do. You know how you tell your kid, quit touching shit. Don't touch nothing and go sit down in the corner. T.I., go sit down. And stop embarrassing Tiny like that. She out here made a name for herself, carrying herself like an upstanding, queen that she is, handling the family, taking care of her situations, and you out here acting like you T.I. Shabazz. If you don't, or T.I. Farrakhan, if you don't go sit down with your fake outrage, you're just trying to keep yourself relevant. So, Kodak Black definitely is not having the best week ever. T.I. go sit down. Put that in the comments. T.I., sit your ass down somewhere. Nobody needs you to speak. You're not speaking for us. You don't speak for us. Speak for yourself, you fool. MJ, the director of the Leaving Neverland, the HBO director, he certainly ain't having the best week ever, because MJ's estate is going to take you to the cleaners. Okay? As far as that lady, Kim Kardashian, becoming a lawyer, great. So I don't know. It's safe to say, to me, I think Wendy Williams is having the best week ever. She is having the time of her life, and we are going to keep our girl uplifted in prayer and positive vibes. I don't know what other tea is going to be spilled. I'm a little bit nervous and I'm scared. But Royal Family, happy Friday. Tomorrow is 420. Please smoke responsibly, drink responsibly, and blow a couple up in the air for your girl, Royal B. Until next time, Royal Family, peace.